In today's Manoa Memo, I want to talk about the core value of rest. We're covering the acrostic GRACE, which is the 5 core values of Manoa, and last time we talked about G, which is for the gospel. R stands for rest. And to cover this value, or set up this value, I want to look at Luke chapter 10, starting in verse 38. Now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him, Jesus, into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister's left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her." The very first day that humanity was created, the very first full day after we were created, do you know what we experienced? The first full day was a day of rest. The 7th day, we were created on the 6th day. Now we as human beings were created to work. We were created in the image of God, and even when God made us, he said, "Fill the earth, subdue it, multiply." And we're good at doing that, at bringing order out of chaos as God's image bearers. But also included in the cadence of life, the rhythm of life, is also a call not only to activity, but to rest. It's so important to God. It's one of his top 10 commands to have a Sabbath and to have a day of rest, to set aside time to worship and love God and just rest in our souls. And we see in the scene in Martha and Mary that Mary represents what a lot of us are, which is just so busy. We find a lot of times our spiritual value in serving Jesus rather than just sitting at the feet of Jesus, worshiping him, listening to him, and just loving him. And yet Jesus draws our attention here in this passage and says that's the better portion. That's the more important thing, our relationship with Christ. And in the church, especially in the American church, I think we're pretty lousy at rest. We are very good at being doers and do. We find a lot of our value in being busy. We talk to one another. "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm so busy." "You're busy?" "Oh, I'm super busy. Busy. And we can build churches. I've seen huge churches. And the bigger they get, the busier they get, the more we feel like a success and the more our souls start to shrivel up. And we get weary. And to win is to lose. To build something so big that it crushes us. And Manoa, we don't want to be that kind of church. We want to be a church that sits at the feet of Jesus. A church that chooses the better portion. Now we're going to talk about ambition next week with our A value at a church that goes hard after Jesus. But we can't do great things if we don't first rest, if we don't start with rest. You need rest to run a race well. You need good rest to accomplish anything important in this world. And resting at the feet of Jesus is the best portion that we could choose. So that's our value for rest. We're going to keep beating that drum to make sure that we are a church that doesn't burn each other out, but we are a church that gives each other space to sit at the feet of Jesus and teaches other people to do it while they heal from this broken world. We want to be a safe place where people come in and experience peace and rest for their soul. Couple quick announcements before I end this memo. First, just remember that the Easter invitations are in. Please go ahead and grab a bunch of these on Sunday. There's also the Easter egg hunt, which we're doing a little bit different this year. We're going to do it on Palm Sunday, right after our worship service, 12 o'clock in the side lawn. So spread the word, invite your friends and family out to that. You also see in the email that I sent, and if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you can click the link there to find a link to the email. And there's a bunch of downloadable resources so that you can promote these events on social media, as well as the upcoming Haverford Worship United event that's happening at 6-8, which is a vineyard church in the township. And so go ahead, look at that, help us spread the word, download all the resources to spread the word on social media, and invite your friends out. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. Check out that email. A lot of other neat announcements coming up, and we'll see you this Sunday as we continue in our series, Believe. God bless you. Bye.